Ami.
I'm Jonathan Lev, Executive Director at the Boulder JCC. As we move in to tonight's program, I ask that you please silence your phones and put them away. Please refrain from taking any photos or videos of the speakers. It is being live streamed and recorded and will be shared. I also want to thank and acknowledge the incredible support from our local and state law enforcement officials, as well as our security company. Your presence makes it possible for us to come together this evening. This has been one of the most traumatic and heartbreaking moments our community has ever experienced. Like so many of you, I'm feeling a lot: shock, grief, anger, fear, and also strength. Your presence here tonight brings more than comfort. It helps bring a process of healing. It reminds us that we are not alone, that even in our deepest pain, we have one another. Tonight is not about thanks, though we are deeply grateful. Tonight is about heart. Your heart. Our heart. It's about standing shoulder to shoulder in support of the victims, their families, and every member of this beloved Boulder Jewish community who have been shaken to the core by the terror attack on Pearl Street. This morning, Governor Polis held an event to bring interfaith community together to stand against anti-Semitism and hate. For those who attended, it held a powerful energy. And tonight, we carry that energy forward in love, with healing, with strength, and with unity. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to acknowledge those who are here with us. I want to first ask elected officials and community leaders who have joined us tonight to please stand. Thank you. Your presence matters. To the clergy of all faiths in our communities, please stand. Thank you for showing up in shared humanity and sacred solidarity. To the Jewish clergy who have come from outside of Boulder and communal leaders that have come from outside of Boulder, please stand. Your embrace uplifted us in ways I cannot even express. And now, I want to ask the Jewish clergy and communal leaders who have served with me here in Boulder to stand. You are the heart of our community, and we thank you for guiding us with your wisdom, care, and courage through these unthinkable days. Finally, I'd like to invite every single person here to stand, every friend, ally, and neighbor who came here tonight to stand with the Jewish community in love and strength. Look around. Look around. This is what our community looks like. This is what our sacred community looks like. This is what it means to come together. You may be seated. We continue tonight with a song, The Tree of Life, in memory of the sweet souls lost in the tragic shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh in 2018. May the strength of this room and the love that we share provide healing and comfort.
Sweet Spirit, hear my prayer. Help these words heal someone out there. I am but a voice, just a cry in the air, but I sing nonetheless in this pain we share. Oh, sweet friends, come and dry your eyes. by this tree of life. I'm angry and tired of this great divide, but I sing nonetheless with love on our side. Oh, sweet souls who feel broken now, we'll heal together somewhere, somehow. Time and again we have been let down, but we sing nonetheless, still whole and still proud. Oh, sweet Spirit, hear our prayers. Help these words heal someone out there.
Good evening. My name is Rabbi Charna Rosenholtz. I am president of Chaver Friendship, the council for rabbis and cantors here in Boulder County. And it is so heartwarming. I know not only are all the people here and in another room and on live stream, and I'm seeing it right now like a spider web, just this web that I know, feeling this much support from community. This is what I will rest into as I struggle through reconciling with what has been happening. In the end, it is love and friendship that is the measure of who we are. And so bless you and thank you for coming. I'd like to share with you a poem that was written by Alden Salavi. He's in Jerusalem, but he's a friend of ours here in Boulder, and he wrote this beautiful, beautiful poem as a gift to us. It is titled For Terror Survivors. God of the survivor, God of the witness, grant solace and peace to those still held by physical, emotional, and spiritual distress from acts of terror. Remember now those who are suffering from trauma after the attack in Boulder. Release them from visions of violence and destruction. Release them from guilt or shame, from fear or anger. Bind their wounds with your steadfast love. Lift them on your wings to kindness and grace. Blessed are those who have found peace. Blessed are those without tranquility. Blessed are those who speak. Blessed are those who stay silent. Blessed are those who have healed. Blessed are those who suffer. Blessed are those who forgive. Blessed are those who cannot forgive. Blessed are you, God of healing, source of strength for survivors of violence and tragedy in every land and in every age. Blessed are you, source of hope and comfort.
Hi, my name is Rachel Amaru, and I am one of the leads of Boulder Run for Their Lives. I founded it in November 2023, and then Bruce Schaefer joined as a co-lead, and now Omer is our co-lead. And I also really, really want to welcome Maya, the leader of the Denver Run for Their Lives. This has been an enormous community for us. And I just want to introduce today to the people who walked on Sunday. I was not there. Rachel Halpern has been walking with us nonstop. She's been there from the very beginning and is an extraordinarily brave and a huge Zionist and a really incredible person, and I'm so pleased to have her be here with us. I also want to welcome another another person who's been walking with us nonstop, but they would like to keep themselves anonymous, and you'll be able to hear them, but they don't want to be on video, so I want to respect their privacy. And then I want to acknowledge Abraham Korngold, who I think everybody knows here, who has been a huge, huge support of our community and walks alongside us all the time. And I'll just say for me personally, he makes me feel safe. So I would love for them to come up and speak. And we're very, very blessed right now to have one of the victims of the event on Sunday, June 1st, Mark, who has come here to be with us and to be in his community, and what a match.
Thank you. Thank you, Rabbi Green, for the opportunity. Thank you, Rachel. You are my hero. I just want to say a few words about what happened that day because I was there. As Rachel already said, I have been working with the Run for Their Lives group since November 2023. It was a very, very, very difficult time for us, for all of us. And to be with that group, that I learned about the group from a newsletter, from an email I received from Banai Shalom, it was a solace to be with people to whom I didn't need to explain how I felt. We walked together in silence. Sometimes there were only maybe 2,000 people. Sometimes there were well over 100. We became a family. I think that I walked and many other people walked together first just to be together. So we had other people to hug. We had other people to be with when we really didn't know where to find peace. Gradually, we became acquainted with the hostages. Each one of us pretty much adopted someone. We got to know the people. We got to know who they were, how they lived, and for many, how they died. We then learned that our presence, our daily walks, our daily silent, not weekly silent walks, were appreciated by the hostage families, that it meant to them that they were not forgotten, that there were people who would take every Sunday, no rain or shine, minus 11 degrees or plus 105. We were always there. We were always there. And so it was on this Sunday. We were concerned. I was concerned. All of us were concerned after what happened in Washington. But we still were there, and we were not really afraid. And we don't have trained eyes. Many of us noticed this strange thing that somebody with a canister that looked like pesticide spray would be spraying the grass on a Sunday. But we don't have the eyes to connect little strange with danger. So we stood there as always, we listened to Omer, and then suddenly a crash, a ball of fire, smoke, the smell, black smoke, the smell, the screams, flames around my feet. For a moment I thought I would go up in flames. I managed to get out. I was not hurt physically, though I don't know what it did to my heart long term. Immediately I saw a woman. The woman stood 1 foot behind me, engulfed in flames from head to toe, lying on the ground with her husband. People immediately, 3 or 4 men immediately rushed to her to smother the flames. It was extremely difficult to do. They didn't have anything with them. People started running from across the Pearl Street Mall with bottles of water, later with buckets of water. In the interim, there was a man, shirtless man, with 2 bottles of plain liquid still standing there and screaming for 10 minutes before the police arrived, before the ambulance arrived. I want to end here about the incident. I want to say a few words about what I think we need going forward. I think one thing we really need is for law enforcement to recognize that even though we look like a powerful, strong, successful community, we are very vulnerable. We have been easy prey for 2,000 years, and we still are. The second thing we need is we really need love and support and help from every decent person regarding of religion or any other beliefs. Finally, I want to say what I think we need from our Jewish community. We need to, I think, address our own patterns, our own age-old, century-old patterns of being quiet, of not making too much trouble, of just working, doing our work, and being quiet. I think it's time to end it. Finally, and really demand that our civil rights are protected, that our human rights are protected. And one more thing. One thing that I learned that was very important on Erev Shavuot is about compromise. The Jewish notion of compromise, of how we compromise with the law, not with each other, but with a law that requires strict adherence, but the strict adherence may be damaging to the community and to humans. And I think that's what we need to take to our free speech laws. The free speech should never target other people. It should not dehumanize, should not I think we have a lot to offer from our approach to really understand how to reimagine free speech so we can all live together in peace. Thank you very much.
It was a rough day. But I have to start by why we're here. And I was beautifully introduced by Rachel, and it's an understatement to say that Rachel and Bruce Schaefer, along with Gali Beh, have guided the walk all of this time. Every Sunday, we hear from them a push for us to come. And I think that they're all such huge community players, and that they took this on in their heart, in their soul, to bring us together and to lead the Boulder community to walk, to run for their lives, has just been very infectious. I am guilty, I think, like many of us who read the news, watch social media, see people, mass shootings, things that happen in the world, and we swipe right, or is it swipe left? One of those. We swipe it away, and we get on with our lives. But Rachel and Bruce and Gali, and thank you, Omer, for stepping up this week. And remarkably, they weren't there. They weren't there. Something about that, I just can't deny some grace that was involved in that. The leaders who take this and bring it to the community and bring us out every week and remind us what we're doing this for and keep us in the mindset for the hostages that are still held and we walk for the hostages, and we hold them in our hearts. And I just am so grateful to the leadership who guides us. Yeah, we come together, and it's become a very lovely, sweet community, a beautiful community. And I had the opportunity on Sunday to show up and connect with a few of the people beforehand. There's always like schmooze time ahead. That's what we do as Jews who schmooze. And, get ourselves in the mindset to walk and know that sometimes we hear a lot of heckling. And sometimes, more often actually, we hear a lot of thumbs up and little claps and yay, we're with you guys. And that's a beautiful thing. There's a lot of support in the community. And that day started out, there was someone new who came on her birthday, and that's who was mentioned. That was probably the greatest victim of the day. And we're all praying for her very much. We'll hear the names of the victims when we say a prayer at the end of the ceremony, but really holding her in our hearts. And I had a chance to walk with her, and she's just the sweetest soul. When I first moved to Boulder over 30 years ago, I got to work with her on the first fundraising project that I did at Bonei Shalom. And yeah, so can't help but hold that. And it turns out that when we got to the courthouse after walking down Pearl Street Mall, I had to leave. It was Shavuot. And I've done this walk dozens of times, and I've never left early. And I left and handed my posters. We carry the posters of all of the hostages with us, and we hold them up as we're walking. And I handed my posters to my dear friend Ed. And incidentally, also on that day, as we were getting to the courthouse, Ed said to me, "It's kind of quiet today." I just remember that. It's kind of quiet today. It wasn't, we didn't hear the feedback that we normally get walking on the mall. And so much for quiet. Once everyone came together at the courthouse where we sing Hatikva and we recite the names of the hostages, Rachel, this week it was Omer who took the leadership role as Rachel was away. And we pray together for the hostages. And I had walked away, and I was on my way to use the restroom at Falafel King, hoping to say hi to Avner, but he wasn't there. And just before getting there, the bomb went off, and turned around and saw it all, and saw a lot of my friends scrambling to help. And it was, the memory of that will always be with me, the work that they did going to those who were in flames. And I started heading from the mall where I was in front of the Falafel King, and I started heading towards the flames, and I saw the man holding 2 Molotov cocktails, and it became clear that that's what he threw, and he was still holding them, and people were starting to approach with their phones, as we all do when something's going on. And this man was rather dangerous, and it was quite scary. So I found myself just pushing people away and keeping a distance, because I don't know if they weren't seeing him, but they were heading into a very dangerous zone, and I only saw a second bomb getting ready to go off, which for some miracle, I still don't understand for anyone who saw the video, 10 minutes, as was mentioned, that we waited for police. And thank God, nothing else happened. So, one thing I just want to say is for those people who I did speak to over Shavuot, who we had conversations about something called survivor's guilt. Survivor's guilt is really real, and I never really thought about it until a couple days. And I actually took it on myself because I was looking from Pearl Street at what was happening up there, and after the fact, why didn't I run in to save these people? And someone helped give me a really nice perspective, which said if there was ever an exercise to prepare for terrorism on Pearl Street, someone would be designated to be on the perimeter keeping people from the danger. And that helped me. It helped me with my perspective. So thank you, Karen. Karen's the one who helped shift my perspective on that from our community. So what now? What now are we left with? The Jewish festival is this week. It's crazy. It's crazy that we had October 7th on Simchas Torah. We had this come to us on Shavuot. We walked from the tragedy on Pearl Street to a Chag, a holy holiday. And I have to say it was a beautiful thing to be able to come together with community and be held and holding each other. That was a gift. But what now? We're walking again. I'm looking to walk on Sunday, and I say, what would Israelis do? What do we know Israelis to do? And what they do is they do it best. They build again. I looked up, and I do remember that Sbarro, which everyone I think remembers, the Sbarro incident. 1 month they reopened that restaurant after 16 people were murdered in a terrible terrorist tragedy. 130 people badly injured from that, but 1 month later they opened and went back. Jonathan mentioned to me before I came up here that Monday after Sunday, Monday does come after Sunday, I'm a little foggy, that the children filled the JCC. School here was filled, and the children came out, and life goes on, and that's what we do. We sing Hatikva, and we carry on with the strength of community that's come out today to support all of this. I love you guys, and Am Yisrael Chai.
Thank you for being here. Like many of you, my world changed on October 7th, 2023. I grew up in a conservative home. I went to Sunday school. I went to Hebrew school. I had a B'nai Mitzvah, observed all the holidays, but I never felt connected to religion, and it didn't mean anything to me. When I left my parents' home and went off to college, I barely talked about being Jewish. I barely thought about being Jewish. I barely celebrated holidays as I had now lived away from my family, and I probably stepped foot in a synagogue once or twice in that next 15 years. It wasn't a part of me. October 7th, 2023, every part of my world changed instantaneously, both minor and major things. Being Jewish was now a part of me. It was me. I lost most of my friendships and was confused. I lost my sense of trust and safety. Israel and simply being a Jew suddenly were at the forefront of my consciousness at all times. And even my taste in music changed. And you can ask Rabbi Green about that one. I met someone in the midst of this immediate post-October 7th struggle who told me about the Run for Their Lives walk on Pearl Street. She thought I should go and that it might be good for me. So I went. And I went. And I went again. And then it became a part of my routine, and I love routines. But it also has been a tiny moment of peace and healing each week, being in the company of like-minded others and doing something that I care about deeply. This past Sunday was a walk, just like all our others. Quiet, peaceful, non-invasive, just wanting the world to remember the hostages and for them to not be forgotten. I was waiting for Omer, who was leading our walk that day, to do Hatikva. It was a walk just like all our others, until it wasn't. I heard a loud noise in the back of my legs burning and don't remember those next few moments. I was standing in the front and didn't see any of the event or the individual as it had initially unfolded, so nothing seemed to be making sense to me amidst the chaos. It took me a while to come to reality and realize what was happening, even as I was watching it unfold before my eyes. Even then, it somehow didn't seem real, even standing in the midst of it. These last few days have been hard. I feel stressed at every moment. I have horrible regrets for what I should have done or could have done and didn't. Everything feels heavy, and I see the images replay in my head all the time. And there are still innocent people suffering in Gaza. So I will walk again. We will walk again. Am Yisrael Hai.
I am Rabbi Cantor Mark Kula. Thank you to our witnesses for sharing, so we are all together in what transpired. Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav, he lived in the late 18th, early 19th century. He led a community in Ukraine. He suffered personally a difficult life and the Jewish community there. He infused within his community the notion that an image of life being a narrow bridge and not being afraid. But the teaching continues. The reason it's a narrow bridge is because we're going to cross it. Let's not be afraid to move forward, to be together, to change the world to a better place and assure that there'll be peace, shalom for everyone. Kol holam kulo Gesher tzar mion, Gesher tzar mion, Gesher tzar mion, Kol holam kulo, Gesher tzar mion. Gesher tzar mion, Gesher tzar mion. All the world's a bridge, a very narrow bridge, a very narrow bridge, a very narrow bridge. Kol holam kulo, Gesher tzar mion, Gesher tzar mion, Gesher tzar mion. Lord
Good evening. I come before you both as governor of the great state of Colorado and as a proud member of the Boulder Jewish community to come together in healing. Earlier this morning, we gathered at the very site of the horrific terrorist attack alongside local faith leaders and elected officials to stand together against hate. And today we join together in a site that many of us have been to concerts or lectures or plays. I've been to our kids' plays here to come together in healing. The Jewish world is so small, and each of us have a connection to this horrific act of terror. Let me be clear, anti-Semitism has no home in Colorado. We will not be defined as a state, as a people, by hate or violence. We will show up with resilience and strength and unity as we've done for generations. On Shavuot, the holiday that began just hours after this heinous anti-Semitic attack, we read that the Israelites came together, many factions with many differences. And of course, even to this day, we have many factions and many differences, whether it's regard to faith or doctrine or views of the Israel-Palestinian conflict. There's the old saying, if you talk to 3 Israelis, you'll get 5 different opinions. But nevertheless, we came together to accept the Torah, Am Echad Lev Echad, one nation with one heart, and we come together tonight in that spirit. So too, we acutely feel the pain of anti-Semitism as one nation, as one people with one heart, whether it's down the road here in Boulder or 1,600 miles away in DC or in Pennsylvania. And for 19 months, we've witnessed an alarming rise in anti-Semitism in this country, around Colorado, around the world. And of course, that we need to do more. And of course, when we walk by and we see people saying globalize the Antifada, when people take that literally, it leads to this kind of terrorist action. But with shock, and unfortunately not as much surprise as we would hope, we saw Jews targeted for living Jewish lives, for taking their Jewish values into the world, for peacefully bringing awareness to the plight of 58 hostages still captive in Gaza after 607 days, or also recently for attending an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum on humanitarian aid. Tonight we come together to find comfort in community. We know that resilience, strength, and pride is who we are as Coloradans, as Boulder County residents, and as Jews. Our resolve is stronger than ever to ensure that we pass la dor v'dor to future generations a vibrant Jewish life. And of course, the cherished right to speak, to gather, to express your opinions, to pray freely. May our kids feel as one nation with one heart and shared joy and shared community. And in our Colorado for All, we'll continue to make it clear. There's room for every person to live, to thrive, to share their opinions and their viewpoints, to worship the God of their choice or no God at all in safe communities across our state. Today, in community, we find comfort and healing. And tomorrow, and every day after, we will let these events help us show up stronger and prouder until all the hostages are home and well beyond. Thank you.
Good evening. Whoever do not know, I'm Israel Bachar, the Consul General. Governor, I know you call Boulder home. Tonight, we all call Boulder home. Communities around the world are holding all of you in their hearts and prayers. This afternoon, I was able to meet with several of the injured. I send refuah shlema to all those recovering, including 80 years old Holocaust survivor Barbara Stanmitz. What I've seen today is a community bound in unity and purpose. You describe yourself as a small community. However, I see a giant community. There is no more important place for me to be than standing here with you tonight. I know you have stood with Israel, for our beloved hostages, every weekend, month on end, through rain or shine. You can imagine now how proud I was to hear you will be marching again this weekend. As you run for their lives, we also work tirelessly to bring the hostages home. We will bring them home. We must bring them home. The attack in Boulder at the Pearl Street Mall and the recent attack in DC, where Sarah Milgram and Aaron Lishinsky were gunned down in cold blood, are attacks on all of us. Both terrorists were fueled by the radical pro-Hamas Palestinian movement. The radical ideology endangers democracy. It fuels anti-Semitism, and anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. Israel is facing a seven-front war. It is not a war that we initiated, but it's a war that we are going to win. We cannot afford to lose this war. We cannot let the extremists win. The moderate Arab states are terrified by the surge of the radicals. However, we never forget that peace is the ultimate blessing. Tonight, in this moment of pain and communal sorrow, I stand with you. The stand of Israel stand with you. May you go from strength to strength. Chazak ve'ematz, Am Yisrael Chai. The state of Israel live.
So when we sing together, our heartbeats sync up. When we sing together, our nervous systems co-regulate. And as the events of the last few days have generated feelings of fear and anger and being afraid, we can always come back to that. We can always come back to our heart. We can always come back to our refusal to dehumanize the other. We can always come back to chesed, to loving kindness. Please join me. Olam chesed yebane Yadadai, yadadai, yadadadadai And olam chesed yebane Yadadai, yadadai, yadadadadai And olam chesed yebane Yadadai, yadadai, yadadadadai And olam chesed yebane Yadadai, yadadai, yadadadadai I will build this world with love. Yadadai, yadadai, yadadadadai. And you must build this world with love. Yadadai, yadadai, yadadadadai. And if you build this world with love, yadadai, yadadai, yadadadadai, then God will build this world with love. Yadadai, yadadai, yadadadadai. I will heal this world. I will heal this world with love. Yadadai, yadadai, yadadadadai. And you must heal this world with love. Yadadai, yadadai, yadadadadai. And if we heal this world with love, yadadai, yadadai, yadadadadai, then God will heal this world with love. Yadadai, yadadai, yadadadadai. Yadadai, yadadai, yadadadadai. Yadadai, yadadai, yadadadai. My name is Evnan. I forgot the intro at the beginning. I am a student chazan and a spiritual leader at Neve Kodesh, and I am honored to be with you all today.
We wanted to come together. We wanted to share a bit of a message. We don't yet know what that is. But people have come to us and the other clergy in the community and see what we might need. What is it that we're supposed to do, we say to each other. And we look at your faces, grateful for presence, and we have more to carry. I'm going to start and say that one of the things that we get to do is to bring comfort, I hope, maybe with some Torah. And one of the things that I felt from Shavuot, Rabbi Mark, is I remember sitting at our minyan in the morning on that first day, and we were talking about the Torah and being at Sinai, and how do you receive these commandments sitting at Sinai? And for me, I was really angry. I wasn't really feeling at Sinai. I didn't feel like I could actually get there. And little by little, the more we talked with the folks that were part of the community and talking about the gifts of Torah that was given, it's medicine, but it's not necessarily a cure. And the medicine made me see that we have these teachings that can bring us together and help us to figure out who we ought to be and how we're supposed to walk in the world. And I started feeling better. So maybe what's the Torah that you have found that can help us feel a little bit better?
This is Torah right now. Our governor said, Am echad belev echad, one people with one heart. And of course we have different reactions and different feelings and different emotions. Like you, by the way, this is Rabbi Fred Green of Har Hashem, and I'm Rabbi Mark Soloway of Bonei Shalom, across the street.
Sorry.
Being Am Echad and Lev Echad, being one people with one heart, doesn't mean we all have to think the same. It doesn't mean that we have to have the same opinions, the same solutions, the same ideas, the same reactions. It means that right now we're in this together. We're in this together, and as Jonathan Lev said earlier, this morning at the governor's gathering at the site of this horrific tragedy, he quoted our beloved teacher Reb Zalman, who many of us knew and studied with, who said the only way to get it together is together. And we're in this together. There's time to debate, there's time to disagree, there's time to express our anger, and I expressed a considerable amount of anger this morning. I'm feeling pretty angry, but this tonight is not about anger. It's about comfort. It's about the fact that we are resilient. It's about the fact that we have each other's backs. It's about the fact that we as a Jewish community are strong and resilient. We have great colleagues. We have great leadership. We are so proud to partner and collaborate with the Run for Their Lives group, with Rachel and the team, as well as with the JCC and all of the communities. We're in it together. That's what Am Echad Lev Echad means. Of course, we pray in different ways. Some of us like singing only in Hebrew. Some of us like singing in English. We have different things that we do and different things that we believe in. But there's something about my Shavuot, the Torah that I received. I'm still working out what it is. But like when the great Rabbi Leonard Cohen talked about the whole and the broken, hallelujah, I think of a whole and a broken Torah that we received this year. The Torah was whole and perfect, and it was so deeply broken, and it was full of pain, and we're full of pain. And I'm just, as someone who knows very closely a lot of the people who are in significant physical pain, and how we show up for them, and how we respect their absolute privacy right now and give them the space they need to heal and recover, and also acknowledge those who are brave enough to be in public. Mark, it's so good to see you here and to feel your presence. And also, I believe that we are all channels of blessing. We all have the capacity to bring blessings through us. And this week in the Torah, in Parshat Naso, which is the weekly Torah reading that Jews all over the world will be reading, we have the Birkat Kohanim, the priestly blessing. And the priestly blessing, which is known throughout faith traditions, may God bless you and keep you, may God's face shine on you and be gracious to you, may God lift up God's face to you and grant you peace. That blessing, the way it's instructed, it doesn't come from the Kohanim, from the priests who say it. It comes through them. They channel it. They channel it. And we can all channel those blessings for each other. One of the ways that we can think about this three-part blessing is about safety and joy and connection and about peace. So may we all feel, in a world that feels so frightening and so unsafe, may we all find moments in community and with each other that we feel safe. May we feel gracious and happy even when we're so broken and sad, and may we feel both within and without shalom, peace. That wasn't the end. Sorry.
One of the things that Rabbi Mark said was about this brokenness and wholeness, and it's important to lift up that there were two types of Torah. One that was broken when Moses threw them down and smashed the tablets to pieces, and the other when going back up again, don't think Mel Brooks. The other one coming back down was whole. And the rabbis say it's the broken and the whole all together in the Holy Ark. We have to carry it together. Together. We have to carry the broken and the whole together. We've said often, as horrible and heinous as acts of terror are, my prayer is that nobody steals or takes away your hope. It's too important. We need it to survive. And it's not wishful thinking. It's a conviction. It's a worldview on how we thrive together.
And a final word. I and all of us have received so much love. So much love from those of us within the Jewish community. I'm sure like Rabbi Green, like all of the rabbis in the community, there's been an outpouring of love and support from within the Jewish community. But there's also been a tremendous outpouring of love from outside the Jewish community. I'm so grateful to have wonderful faith leaders who share this amazing city that we have in the best possible ways, and some of the alliances that we have and the friendships that we have that we've built. And so I feel loved. I hope that we can all feel and receive the love in this moment where we're feeling so much pain and brokenness. And we love you all. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Rabbi Jacob Chatenover. I'm the assistant clergy at Congregation Bonei Shalom across the street. I'm about to read a prayer by Rabbi Chaim Stern. In it, he quotes a teaching from the sage Rabban Gamliel. So, because I deeply feel that my mandate in this world is to be a teacher of Torah, and I deeply feel, as Rabbi Green said, there is nothing as nurturing and as healing as learning Torah together. I would just like to start by quoting Rabban Gamliel in full. The ignorant person cannot be afraid of their own mistakes, and the uninformed cannot be kind, and the bashful person cannot learn, and the disciplinarian cannot teach. And putting all of your time toward business does not necessarily make you wise. And in a place where nobody is acting like a human being, try to act like a human being. When evil darkens our world, let us be the bearers of light. When fists are clenched in self-righteous rage, let our hands be open for the sake of peace. When injustice slams doors on the ill, the poor, the old, and the stranger, let us pry the doors open. Where shelter is lacking, let us be builders. Where food and clothing are needed, let us be providers. Where knowledge is denied, let us be champions of learning. When dissent is stifled, let our voices speak truth to power. When the earth and its creatures are threatened, let us be their guardians. When bias, greed, and bigotry erode our country's values, let us proclaim liberty throughout the land. In the places where no one acts like a human being, let us bring courage. Let us bring compassion. Let us bring humanity. Thank you.
I'm going to make a Misha Berach for the injured for a speedy recovery. Misha Berach Abateinu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Moshe Aaron David Shlomo Yerapei Taptzuim Barbu She'eder Nitzaka B'Avuram B'schar Zeh HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem L'achlimam L'rapotam L'achzikam L'achyotam V'yishlach Lahem Mehera Refuah Shlema Min HaShamayim L'marach V'yareim B'shesagidem B'toch Shar Cholei Yisrael Refuah HaNefesh Refuah HaGuf V'nomar Amen. I'd like to ask Ileana Funk, my colleague, Director Hill at CU, to please say it in English.
And this is Rabbi Wilhelm, who runs the Chabad at CU Boulder. Thank you for being here. So we say our blessing in English. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are injured. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us together say, Amen. Thank you for showing up today.
I'm Cantor Devorah Avery of Congregation Har Hashem, and this is Noah Young, who has spent his whole life at Har Hashem. We're going to be singing Achenu. This is a traditional prayer said for those in captivity. And many of us have been saying this prayer for far too long for the hostages. God is referred to in this prayer as Hamakom, the place. We pray that wherever the hostages are, that the place is holding them, sheltering them, and we pray, bring them home. Let's join together.
Batsara uvashivya haomlim ben
Amen.
Good evening. I'm Rabbi Diane Tiferet Lakin from Congregation Neve Kodesh. I'm the newcomer on the block. My prayer is that we have a truly diverse Jewish community, a community where we come together and each of us feels like we belong. Each of us feels safe enough to engage with each other with curiosity. So I stand for peace, I stand for kindness, and I stand for holding complexity. And I pray for those injured. We stand in grief with the devastated families in our community. We weep over the incomprehensible acts of violence. We cry out with shock, confusion, and pain. We cry together over this senseless act of violence and destruction. Be with us, God, in this time of sorrow and fear. Help us, God, to offer comfort to those whose hearts are shattered. Rekindle hope and trust and courage within us and them. Help us, God, to sustain our belief in the promise that even in the darkest times, even when we feel most discouraged, there is reason to trust, that love is never extinguished, and that light and spirit will prevail. Help us, God, to rededicate ourselves to building a world that is safer for our children. Help us, God, to rededicate ourselves to building a world that is safer for all people. During these difficult days and nights, God, bring comfort and peace and hope and light to broken hearts and a broken world.
Many of you know that the victims of Sunday's attack built this Jewish community, and we truly would not be sitting here without them. Who could have imagined a night like tonight when we built this place? Thank God we did. I'm Susan Rona, Regional Director of ADL Mountain States, and I stand here with my staff, our board, ADL CEO Jonathan Greenblatt, and National Board Chair Nicole Muchnick. Your leadership and partnership have steadied us in this moment, and I am so grateful. Many thanks as well to Jonathan Lev and the entire Boulder JCC team. Thank you for helping us to create this sacred space tonight. Nothing's more important. Governor Polis reminded us that hate has no place in Boulder, no place in Colorado. We have listened to witnesses, lifted healing melodies, and felt the support of clergy, elected officials, the Israeli Consul General, who all cleared their schedules simply to be present. Your presence is itself a shelter. Thank you for offering it. Many of us arrived here carrying raw vulnerability, anger, and deep sadness. Our friends who were injured carry physical wounds, and we are praying for your recovery. Refuah Shalema, a complete healing of body and spirit. The rest of us carry an ache in our chests, replaying the moment we learned that a firebomb of hate landed right here in our beloved Boulder. Their pain and the fear it sparked rippled across our entire community, reminding us how fragile safety can feel when you are singled out just for being Jewish. A passage from our Reform prayer book, Mishkan Tefillah, has echoed in my mind all evening. Standing on the parted shores, we still believe there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. As we stand in this frightened place, may we remember that the only path through the wilderness is the one we walk together, wounded but undeterred. So when we leave this gathering, let us carry 4 simple commitments to each other. Reach out, call out, stand up, and reclaim Jewish joy. Reach out, check on your Jewish neighbors tomorrow, next week, next month, a month after that. You get the idea? Our safety net is woven from persistent but ordinary acts of loving kindness. Call out, challenge hateful words online, in classrooms, in casual conversation, and even in our city council meetings. Silence is not neutral. It is permission. Condemning Sunday's attacks without mentioning the attack on the Jewish people is not neutral. It's permission. Stand up again and again. Keep showing up with the same determination and kindness that you showed by being here tonight. to keep up the fight against anti-Semitism and all forms of hate. Find joy, find Jewish joy. Our tradition teaches that we carry more than grief. The rabbis talked about broken Torah. We carry within that Jewish joy, laughter at Shabbat tables, children dancing in our halls, the aroma of challah drifting from the Boulder JCC's Early Childhood Center every Friday. Joy is not a denial of pain. It is our oldest remedy for despair. The prayers we recited, the testimonies we heard, and the songs we shared are only the first steps on that winding way. The real work, and it's going to be work, let's not kid ourselves, is when we turn toward the wilderness outside of these sacred walls, in schools, workplaces, city halls, and council chambers, and keep marching hand in hand. From the depths of my heart, and on behalf of the ADL, thank you for coming together tonight to prove that Boulder's answer to hate is unity, courage, and action. May we leave here strengthened, united, and unwavering in the belief that love is stronger than hate and that our greatest strength is found in this beloved community. This incredible outpouring of love and support means so much to all of us in leadership. It really is the fuel that keeps us going. And to our whole community, it's more than I could ever express in words. A housekeeping note, at the conclusion of the program, we'll be opening the doors in the back of Levin Hall and outside the gym entrance to allow a smoother exit. I now invite you to join me and rise, join hands if you're able, and as we lift our voices in Hatikva, our enduring song of hope and joy. Thank you.
I'd like to invite all our participants in tonight's program to come join us on the stage, and we'll lead Hatikva together as a community. Honestly, anybody who would like to come up. Oh yeah, I don't know. Huddle, huddle, huddle. Are we all here? Rabbi, you're a singer. Could you go here? You can come here. Kolor balevav panima nefesh Yehudi homia ulfatei mizrach kadima ayin let Zion Sophia od lovda tikvateinu hatikva bat shnot alpayim liotam chofshi be'artzeinu eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim liotam chofshi be'artzeinu
That's the conclusion of our evening together. Go in strength, friends, and take care of one another. Thank you, folks.